For my marine species, I chose the lionfish, which is one of the deadliest fish due to its venomous spines. However, the meat is actually very tasty. The scientific names of the two main species are Pteris volitans and Pteris miles. Lionfish are native to the warm tropical Indo-Pacific Oceans, mostly near the reefs, but have become invasive in the Gulf of Mexico and along the east coast of the United States, from Florida all the way up to North Carolina. Juveniles have been found as far north as New York. They can live in as cold a water as 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Their kingdom is Animalia, subkingdom Bilatera, infrakingdom Deuterostomia, phylum Chordata, subphylum Vertebrata, infraphylum Gnathostomata, superclass Actinopterygii, class Teleostii, superorder Acanthopterygii, order Scorpioniformes, suborder Scorpionoidea, family Scorpionidae, genus Pteris, species Pteris volitans and Pteris miles. Some of the common names include lionfish, firefish, tasty fish, turkey fish, butterfly cod, zebrafish, devil firefish. The facts that I found most interesting about lionfish are female lionfish are actually sexually mature, around 7 to 8 inches in length, or about 1 year old. One single female can release 10,000 to 30,000 unfertilized eggs every 4 days all year round, which comes to around 2 million eggs per year. They can eat prey up to half its body size as long as it fits in its mouth. They have 18 venomous spines, but the meat of the fish is not poisonous and actually quite tasty. They're the perfect example of what an invasive species can do in a new habitat. Some of the unique attributes of lionfish are they have brown or maroon and white stripes or bands across their body and 18 venomous spines that deter would-be predators. They have these long pectoral fins to pursue and corner prey, and in non-native waters, prey don't see them as predators yet until it's too late. They reach reproductive maturity at a year old. They can reproduce all year. Females release eggs every 3 to 4 days, up to 30,000 each time, or 2 million a year. The egg sacs can be carried far away by currents to new territories. They can eat just about anything that fits in its mouth. Their stomach can actually expand to 30 times its normal size. They are nekton swimmers, able to travel great distances. And they also have these cycloid scales. And the scales they're oval or elliptical in shape with a smooth edge, which allows for easier swimming. Lionfish ecological effects. Lionfish will eat just about anything they can fit in their mouth, literally anything, including other fish in its range. Their estimates include over 70 different fish. One fish was actually found to have 60 different types of prey in its stomach at once. Invertebrates and mollusks, although there's been no known instances of them eating juvenile sea turtles yet. They do not have known predators outside their native habitat, but there are reports of grouper, gray triggerfish, and large eels having eaten healthy, uninjured lionfish. The Atlantic species don't recognize lionfish as food or predators yet. We're hoping that'll change. Their known predators in their native habitat include cornetfish, grouper, large eels, bobbit worms, frogfish, other scorpionfish, and as well as sharks. Lionfish are top carnivorous predators, as very few species actually eat them. Lionfish are generally slow swimmers that use their outstretched pectoral fins to pursue and corner prey. Continuing on with more lionfish ecological facts. They reproduce by the females releasing eggs in the water. They get fertilized by males and they can spawn all year. Mature females can release up to 30,000 eggs every 3 to 4 days for the rest of its life. Most reef species spawn once or twice a year, maybe, which this gives the lionfish a great advantage over other reef species. They were first spotted in the Atlantic in 1985, although population numbers have exploded since its arrival, and it was considered established in the early 2000s. They are not threatened or endangered in any way, both in its native habitat and in the Atlantic in its non-native habitat. Recently, over the last few years in Florida, initiatives have been started to commercially sell lionfish meat to restaurants. Florida is also doing annual lionfish tournaments, and a lot of restaurants are now selling lionfish dip, which it tastes very similar to crab dip. If you're ever in Florida and see a restaurant selling lionfish dip, I highly recommend you try it, or any kind of lionfish meat. Really, it's white, flaky, and actually very tasty. It doesn't have a very fishy taste to it. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about lionfish.